Oh, hey MTV, welcome to my crib.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my Not So Graceful Life. I'm Grace, and I'm a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology. I live in Kaufman Hall again. It's FIT's upperclassmen dorm. Basically, anyone who's not a freshman lives in this dorm. It is off campus. It's on 31st Street. So this is going to be a full dorm tour of my room as well as the amenities that are offered in this dorm. So yeah, without further ado, here is my dorm. This is the dorm right inside the door. Here is like the immediate view. Yeah, so let's start with our entryway. We have this like little coat rack and I have my granny cart. And then immediately to the right when you walk in is the kitchen. I recommend a full-size trash can. You do get a pretty nice stove and oven. I don't think it's full-size, it's kind of smaller, but it's still nice. You do need to bring your own microwave. A lot of people don't realize that when they watch these videos. You have to bring your own microwave. And then just, you know, normal kitchen. The counter space sucks. And then you do also get a full-size fridge. If you're curious about cabinet space, it's also pretty limited. This is like all of our dishes and stuff. This is my roommate's pantry. My pantry is up here. I just can't open those for you guys. And then down here we have our cleaning supplies, and these are all of our kitchen supplies. I also recommend bringing a drying mat and a drying rack for your dishes. Also, I'm so sorry about the instability in this video. I'm doing this by hand. I don't have a stabilizer. Also in the kitchen here you get a table. This is a double, so there's 2 chairs. And right next to the table we have the bathroom. Ta-da! I have this like rack over the door for our towels. It's so nice. Also, we always prop the door open because otherwise it feels kind of trapped in here. So this is our shower. They do provide a shower curtain, but this is just cuter. And then in the shower as well, I highly recommend getting one of these. It's just so nice, but not needed. And then this is how we have our shower like set up. I love having these. It's definitely nice to have 2. I will say it does seem to be like every room has a different shower. They're all kind of about the same size, but their layouts are always different. Okay, and then this is our vanity situation. I highly recommend getting one of these like cart things. This is like my makeup, my skincare, my hair tools, just so everything's not out on the counter because you don't have a ton of counter space. And then in the mirror, this is kind of what it looks like. I do know that some of them have the like trifold mirrors, but not in any rooms that I've ever been in. And then my roommate has their thing here, you know, towel racks, whatever. Ooh, I recommend a steamer. Okay, now for the main room portion. This is kind of just an overview of what it looks like. Focusing on my side, obviously. So the furniture that you get 2 dressers. This is actually 2 sets of drawers that I've stacked on top of each other to also be my nightstand. I highly recommend a fan. These dorms, especially on this side of the building, get so hot. I do have my window open. I love the windows, but they almost always have to be closed because it's so hot in here. And I recommend a diffuser because you can't have candles and things like that. Here's an overview of under my bed. This is like all my reusable bags. This is extra Tupperware, and this is all my PR that I get. I have my hamper, my winter clothes are back there, extra shoes, and then my suitcases are back here, and then this is just like extra stuff that I don't need. These tubs are super helpful to pack in if you're gonna be driving, and also to keep stuff in your storage unit over the summer. I personally don't really have anywhere for my bags, so I just kind of hang the ones I use daily here. I love having this chair. It's so nice for friends to have somewhere to sit. However, it's kind of inconvenient with this space, so honestly it moves a lot in this little area. And then of course I've got all my tripods and everything that also get moved around so much. Really recommend getting lamps. I had lamps in my last room because there's no overhead light in the living areas, and there like almost never is, and I really don't know what's up with that. They only put the overhead light in the kitchen, so you'll need lamps for your living space. Okay, here is what the wardrobes look like, and you can rearrange your room however you want. Everything is movable. Mine came with hooks on this one. My one last year didn't have these hooks, but they're really nice. This is just, I have towels, laundry soap. These are like winter sweaters and stuff, and I just have everything in here. I personally put this, it's supposed to go under your desk. I put it in my closet every year. It's just nice to have my daily shoes here, my boots here, and I don't need it under my desk, so it's just nice in here. And it is still office supplies, it's just in here. Dun, 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 dun. See, and then we just move it over, and welcome to my pantry. Oh my gosh, I'm stuck in the cords. There's so much over here. POV, you live with an influencer. So this is like my little workout corner. This is my drying rack. I actually really recommend this, but if you dry all your clothes in the dryer, then I don't. So it's just up to you. This is my pantry. I just have like my snacks, drink stuff. I don't know. This whiteboard I loved freshman year. It was so nice. There wasn't a good place to put it in this room, so I kind of don't use it as much, but it's good to hang your necklaces off of. This is like one of the best hacks that I have. This is my desk. I really don't use it, but you're required to have one right now. I don't know what to do with my awards, so they're here. I am a sticky note person, so I have these everywhere. These are like the empties that I need to do a video for. Craft box. Yeah, kind of it. This jewelry box is so nice. I can put my sunglasses on it. Has all my stuff in it. It's so nice. And then this is our window. We literally everything, we're like, oh, we'll just put it in the window. So we have so many plants. This is our view. It's so nice. You can see the sunset so well from this angle, but our view is really good. And sorry if you guys can hear the AC. It's so hot in here. I'm telling you, I opened these windows a few minutes ago just to record this, and it's insanely hot in here already. I am sweating. The heat is just on off. So in the winter, you turn it on for 20 minutes and you're good. I think we only used the heat maybe a few times the entire winter because this side of the building is just so hot. The AC it's just never enough, I will say. But I love it here anyways, so that I think concludes the tour because I don't want to show my roommate's side. I will note that we have a TV in here. There's really not a good place for it, which is why ours is in the window, but you can have one. They're kind of hard to set up. We had to have IT come in several times for it, but you can do it if that's something you like. We like to watch Drag Race on Fridays, so. Oh, and I'm gonna try to go get videos of the amenities for you guys. Maybe I'll do that real quick. Okay, so let's start with the basics. As you saw, each person gets a bed, a desk, a chair, those 2 dressers, and then a wardrobe. Everything is super neutral. You can decorate it however you want. As you guys can see mine over here, just remember no thumbtacks, so make sure you bring your command hooks. One of the best parts about living in Kaufman is that you're not right on campus, but you're still so close. And for me, that's separation between school, and I also work on campus, so for me, the separation between school and work and home is very important to me. And it just kind of feels like you're really living in New York City and not necessarily on a school campus. I will say, definitely with this location, it can be a little bit rocky just because of where we are and what we're next to. So having security here all the time is a really nice amenity that we have, and then that also adds to the campus feel for sure because you have to check in guest. And I will say, just a little, has nothing to do with the dorm tour, but our guest rules are so strict. If you want an overnight guest, you have to have them in the system 24 hours in advance. Otherwise, your guests can only be here from like 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. or something like that. And you only get a certain amount of visitation per semester. And it's so strict and it's a mess. And they change the rules almost every year. So just something to note. So since we are off campus and you don't necessarily go to the dining hall for all your meals, you need to go grocery shopping. So the best grocery stores that we are right next to an Ideal Market and a Whole Foods. They're definitely more on the pricier side for me, like what I would consider. However, they're literally right next to us. So for convenience, it's really nice. I, however, opted to go to Trader Joe's. It's about a mile there, a mile back. So it usually takes me about 45 minutes of walking time, and then usually 20 minutes in the store. If you're gonna opt to go to Trader Joe's, which I do recommend, get yourselves a granny cart. I can link the one that I have, but a granny cart just really is a game changer, so you're not lugging your bag. But if you are going to do that, get some high quality reusable bags. I went shopping at Home Depot when I first got here. That's where I got my rug and some other things, and they gave me the best high quality giant reusable bags. That's what I use to grocery shop, do my laundry, invest in some, or just get some at a store like I did. I think the IKEA bags, I see a lot of people use those maybe, I don't know. Okay, we're also right next to Penn Station, Moynihan, Train Hall, and Madison Square Garden. They're all kind of one, if you know, you know. So it's super easy. We're right next to the ACE and the 123. So you can get almost anywhere from there. If not, you can transfer to other places from those lines. So that is super nice. However, that is what adds on to sometimes this isn't the safest area. Truly, there's only ever been a few incidents that like I at least have been present for and stuff, and they're nothing usually too bad, you know, just some indecent public exposure type beats and crazy people. But we are also right next to the bus station, and it's like the long distance buses. I can't think of what they're called right now, but that definitely adds to that sketch vibe. We usually try to avoid that on our walk to the school. But also being right next to the train hall and everything, they have a lot of really good fast food options under there, like Cane's, Chick-fil-A, Pliables, I think is what it's called, is down there. So that's really nice if you don't have stuff in your kitchen. And also there's a Dwayne Reed down there. There's two, and that's really handy if you just need some quick drugstore stuff. There's also a lot of 99-cent stores around here, so you can get like a lot of things for pretty cheap, like your paper plates and stuff like that. Okay, we're also right next to Hudson Yards, which is really nice because you're gonna have to do a lot of shopping trips for school, especially if you're FBM like me. So that's really nice. Anytime we get an assignment that you need to do shopping for, I make sure it's a store in Hudson Yards so that I can just literally walk across the street and go. And then that means that we're also right next to the High Line as well as a bunch of piers. I love walking the piers in the High Line. That is like top favorite NYC activity for me. There is the best sunset watching from the piers over here. Like it's amazing. I love it. It's like a good view of New Jersey is I think what's over here. I did my birthday picnic at one of the piers. If you guys have seen those pictures, that's where it is. And then the High Line is also easy to commute to. Like if you're going certain places, you can take the High Line, and it's generally safer because you're like above all the people. Okay, now let's talk commuting to campus. So it's about an 8 to 10 minute walk, sometimes 15. Truly, I don't know, but that's about what I make it to campus in. I honestly really enjoy the walk. I almost always opt to walk because it's good to like listen to music. Honestly, a lot of times I go in silence, just clear my head and like get focused for the day before class, just like breathe, like, you know, it's very meditative for me, I guess. I also love walking. Like I love walking. I love the piers. I love the High Line, you know. I'm just a walking girl. I love it. However, we do also have a shuttle that runs, they say every 15 minutes. Realistically, it's about every 30 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes during high traffic times, like in the morning and at night. So like if I'm trying to get to class at 9:10, I will be waiting for that shuttle. I need to be leaving my room at 8:27 so that I can be downstairs waiting for that shuttle for that 8:31, because you never know what's gonna go wrong. Usually I get to campus early, but if I don't catch that shuttle, I will be so late. Also, the shuttles are really nice if you get home to campus late and one of your friends needs to get back to campus to one of the like freshman dorms. One of my friends is an RA there, and so like if we do something, she'll have to take the shuttle back. So that's an option. You just have to like call it, I think after 8 p.m. or something. And same if you're coming from school to Kaufman, you just have to ask them to call a shuttle. They'll do it. Easy and safe way to get home. So yeah, that's my dorm tour of Kaufman Hall. I hope this helped you get a better idea of what it's like to live here. Also, don't forget to check out my dorm tour from last year if you want to see what a triple looks like. Again, there was only 2 people living in it, but it's still a triple sized room, so you get the same feel. I'm gonna link that below for you guys. And then again, if you guys have any questions about FIT or just New York City in general, feel free to comment them, or you can DM me if you don't feel like posting them on a public platform. I'm gonna have my handles here. Feel free to follow and message me on anything. And you know, if you like the video, like, subscribe, share with your other FIT friends so they can find their dorm. I'd appreciate it too. And good luck on room selection. I know it's the Hunger Games out here.